This is the original XML that we provided you. It was a vertical linear layout, and the items were appearing in a vertical column. According to the image in the quiz, we want the item to look more like a list item using a relative layout. Here's the solution. We've changed the layout so that the photo is on the left and the 3 text views are on the right-hand side. In order to build this layout, I changed the root view to be a relative layout instead of a linear layout. Since this is the opening tag, I also had to update the closing tag at the bottom. Between the opening and closing tags, we have 4 children views. I also removed the vertical orientation attribute because that belonged to the linear layout. There's no orientation attribute needed for the relative layout. The photo was already positioned correctly. The first child of a relative layout is always positioned by default in the top left corner. And that's what we want for our list item, so this stays the same. Next, we have the text view that says Pebble Beach. We want to position this text view to the right of the image view, so we need to add the attribute layout_to right of, and then reference the image view. In order to reference the image view, we had to add an ID attribute to the image view. I just called it photo, but you could call it something else if you wanted. That correctly positioned the image and the first text view. The next text view is for showing the text California. The California text view has to be positioned to the right of the photo and must be below the Pebble Beach text view. So first we add the attribute layout_to right of and reference the photo. Then we add another attribute, layout below, and then we reference the first text view. That required also adding an ID for this first text view. We just called it name. Cool, so that positioned the image view and the 2 text views. Lastly, we have the text view that shows the distance, 10 miles away. It's positioned to the right of the image and below the California text view. Thus, we had to add the attribute layout_to right of and reference the photo, and we also had to add an attribute for layout below and then reference the location text view. This involved adding the ID for the location text view as well. I also added an ID for the distance text view. Even though we're not referencing it anywhere, it doesn't hurt to add an ID to a view. In the case that you do need to refer to it later, it's already there.